All right, let's get the battery in this thing and see what's up. I've heard some things about the doors. We'll see, right? I'm not talking about Jim Morrison. I'm talking about the door. That door. All right, here it goes. I mean, well, that was pretty fast, but I mean, given that it's smaller camera, I guess you expect that. Here's my question. It's already at ISO 400. Is that its native?
Yes.
All right, so first thing you can see, native ISO 400 sets you up at white balance 5600 daylight. The tint, I guess, is at 10. Shutter at 180, of course. We got it at 24, true 24. And as you can see, there's no cards, and you've got your audio levels down here, and you've got a little histogram or is it waveform or histogram?
It's a histogram.
Histogram on the bottom left. First thing we'll do is we'll go to the menu, and you'll see that you've got your ProRes HQ 422 light, and is it proxy?
Actually, I think that's the smallest.
Yeah, that makes sense. So light would be, yeah, okay, that makes sense. HQ being the most, 422 being number 2, and then 3, 4. That's how it works. All right. And Cinema DNG comes on it too. I have not upgraded yet, so that's another thing I want to talk about. I have to add the new update, the new firmware update, which gives you Blackmagic RAW and a few other cool updates. One of which is focus peaking, like assist or something better with that, and actual like better contrast-based focusing with native lenses. This camera is not for automatic focusing, so I wouldn't worry too much about that at all. Just go ahead and plan on manually focusing this camera. And with Cinema DNG, just like ProRes, you've got 3.1 and 4.1, just different kinds of compression or completely lossless. 4K DCI, let's just say 4K, full 4K, Ultra HD, and Full HD. Okay. We'll go to the other part of the menu. That shows you your kind of like your dynamic range presets: video, extended video, and film. We'll be using film every time. Frame rates: 24, 25, 29.97, 30, 50, 59.94, and true 60. I guess you also have that one too, 23.98. But we'll be using 24, true 24, and 60 almost every single time. At the bottom, it shows you what kind of cards you have: a CFast card, SD card, and fullest card. Still not sure what fullest card is, but I don't know. Maybe that is actually internal memory. Is that right?
Maybe. I mean, that is kind of strange. Maybe that's actually saying like it has a CFast slot and it has an SD slot, and whichever one it's supposed to record to is whichever one's fullest.
For our use, we'll definitely be using like SDXC Class 2s. You can use the Class 1, but you're limited to the Blackmagic RAW. It'll be 8 or 12 to 1 compression. So we'll be using SDXC Class 2 and SSD. Probably mostly SSD. Let's go to the other page. And this basically gives you some time-lapse options, a few, sharpening, detail sharpening things you can do to your image. Of course, that's something that we do in post, so we don't worry about that. The last page, goes back to one. Monitor. This is basically giving you the option of looking at your LCD screen, looking at what's connected to your HDMI, or looking at both, which is actually pretty cool. The rest of the stuff, not really important. You got focus assist and zebra and display and all that. This actually displays your LUTs. So you can preset LUTs just like a monitor recorder to look at over your gray file while you're shooting to make sure you're accurate, which is pretty cool. With a 5-inch screen, that addition makes the most sense because they don't want you to have to use an external monitor for this. So that makes a lot of sense. Zebra strikes, of course. Focus assist, which is something we use a lot because this camera is not great for automatic focus. We'll be using focus assist every time we use it. False color, safe area, etc. Grids. I use the grid. A lot of people hate on that. And I've been shooting so long, I mean, the rule of thirds is pretty much second nature to me, but I like that grid to just get it more accurate. This is my personal preference. And let's see, we go over to some meters and codec resolution stuff, screen brightness. And we're back to the beginning of that one. We go to audio, and we got camera left, camera right. You know, each separate channel, like I said, we on the side, and I'll show you that real quick. We've got, you have like a little mini XLR port that goes to a regular XLR. Now that's an adapter or a cable that I'll have to buy separate, but you know, the cost of the cable is nothing. To be able to record in camera with a good XLR is great. You also have your little USB port, and you have a 12 volt DC port. You can also add an external battery and run this thing basically for 2 days straight using the same port. Since we're over here, let's go ahead and check out the HDMI port. Full HDMI. I hate that mini and micro stuff that a lot of cameras do. Just makes you buy more cables. And then you have microphone and headphone jacks. Alright, so back to the menu. I'll let that focus. And as far as the menus on this, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You know, just set your levels, and you can, you know, headphone and speaker volume. You can do that. You can actually add phantom power to your XLR if you're running like a mic or something like that. You can actually add phantom power to it. Now that's going to drain your battery a lot. Probably not advisable, but it's an option. Setup, you know, you've got your date and time, language, shutter angle, shutter speed, and you have a megahertz. Like, you have like an option here for like flicker issues with lights. You can go 50 or 60, which is a really, for us that shoots a lot of corporate and commercial stuff, and we can't always turn out the lights and just light it ourselves because of the space. It could be really dark. So this option is pretty cool for us, because while in post you can remove a lot of flicker, there are still situations that it's just a problem. So that's a pretty cool. I did not know that existed on this camera, so that's pretty cool. And your presets, this is basically the menu that I'll throw in a lot of my LUTs and all that. I'm sorry, presets would be camera presets that I'm going to set up later. So the LUTs, comes already with a few loaded, I guess. Pocket film to extended video, Pocket 4K to Rec 2020, Pocket 4K film to Rec 2020, PQ Gamma, and Pocket 4K to video. I'll probably create my own, but these are pretty cool, I guess, to get you started. And that's basically it. That's the whole menu. Think if we went through the Sony, how long that would actually take. I guess I'll go ahead and go around the rest of the camera so you get a look at it. Go to the front, and I'll keep rotating, and we'll actually take a look at the top. Now, I guess before I do that, menu button over here, play button for, you know, or the thumbnail button to pull up your clips. This zooms in, high frame rate button. I can go from 24 to 60 or 24 with a push of a button, which saves me, you know, my custom buttons at the top. I think this is automatic iris. This might be exposure compensation. Not sure. I have to like dig more into that. All right, so you don't need to see the left side of it. This is the top, and you can see the middle right here. Off and on button right here. You've got 3 custom buttons, so they'll be whatever I want them to be. Most likely it'll be probably white balance, frame rate, stuff like that. Stuff that you can change, especially frame rate. If you can change that fast. Granted, there's already a button on the back for high frame rate, so that may not be an issue, but stuff that you need to change quickly. And granted, we're going to be shooting a lot of movies, so that's not necessarily like the biggest advantage, but we all love our custom buttons. White balance is already there, like I said, don't need that. ISO, and I believe this is shutter speed. So those buttons are already there, so my custom buttons will have to be rethought basically. We've got a record button right here and a little teeny record button like right there. So you've got two of them. That's pretty cool, especially if you do decide to actually use this to vlog, or if you're recording yourself, you can actually like be able to reach forward and hit that record button pretty easily. I do like the fact that it is like a shutter record button. The GH5 does that, while Sony, I don't know if they do it now, but on the A7S II, that's not a record button. That's like a still or a still frame grab, and that's cool. It's a cool function, but I do like the fact that you can just record by hitting that. And this right here is probably something that I won't ever touch, and that's the still photography function. This camera's not built for that, so while I might use it because I don't have another camera on me or something like that, I'm not really going to ever focus on that function. So that's basically the entire camera. It's sleek, it's sexy, it's very minimalistic, and that's the way I like it. So if you love this video or just liked it, be sure to hit that like button. Please leave a comment, because we do thrive on them, whether they're good or bad. They make us laugh in the least. And hit the subscribe button so you can be a part of our channel, and ring the bell for the notifications. We'll see you next week.